God gave it to us. He expects us to care for it, nurture it, and transform it into a gem where we improve every inch of it, putting it into good use and empowering ourselves and our citizens to be productive, nature-oriented, and happy. This month has been designated by our government as National Heritage Month, and lots of activities have been planned where we can involve ourselves as to who we are, how and what we do as we celebrate Pride. The islands have been divided into zones with specific names relative to their products and events planned for all to enjoy. Zone 1 is Grand Turk and South Caicos, and their festivities took place last weekend at the Soul Shed with a combined church service of Thanksgiving. This was followed by storytelling, shay dance with ripsaw music, and the sale of goodies made by the citizens. The evening in Grand Turk was celebrated with a gospel concert on the library court, which was enjoyed by all. Zone 2 is South Caicos, the Seafood Festival. This will take place this weekend. It started yesterday. Zone 3 is Middle Caicos, the Sponge, Cotton, and Sisal Festival. This will take place next weekend. Zone 4 is Providenciales, the Maritime Festival, slated for next weekend. In each zone, we showcase habits and practices that have been with our grandparents and great-grandparents, and we want to preserve them beyond. Lifestyles such as food, beverages, language, games, music, dress, and even medicines from our plants were used. All of these make us unique as Turks Islanders. Our national dish is pigeon peas with grits and corn, steamed fish on sour. Our national language is English with a bit of a twist at times, a little bit of dialect. Our national music is ripsaw. Our national bird is the brown pelican. Our flower is the heather. I don't know if any of you remember the heather. It grows about 6 to 7 inches, and at one stage we used to use it for scrubbing floors, but it has a little white flower. Our tree is the Caicos pine. This is mainly found in Middle Caicos and North Caicos. Our national sport is cricket. Our national dress is a white gown with colored ribbons representing each island in the archipelago. Red represents Grand Turk, related to the Turk's head cactus found on this island when it was discovered. The white represents South Caicos, which is the South Island. The orange represents South Caicos, the lobster industry. The green represents North Caicos, with its rich vegetation. The tan represents Middle Caicos, straw. Turquoise represents Provo with its pretty waters and inviting tourism. And yellow represents the sun shining all over us and bestowing God's grace. Pink represents all islands, all the past, and relates to the flamingo and the conch. Our flag is usually visible, and each is expected to march with one on Monday, which is a holiday. Looking back and comparing lifestyles, I want to remember my life in South Caicos, where I grew up. Refrigerators were nowhere to be found in our home, but a clay jar did the work of providing cold water on a hot summer's day. No gas range, no electric range. The firehouse was a 3 or 4 foot broad wall with 3 stoves and a pot on the top, enough to hold the pot to bake for it. A 3-sided box with a door was fully lined with metal and heated with a homemade stove, which was made from half a canister. The coal was placed on the rack the stove lighted and placed in the box oven to heat. When it was heated, the bread was placed on the shelf in the oven and baked until done, fully risen and brown. This oven had no timer, and I have never seen a loaf of bread that was brown. Preservation of fish and cum. Fish was scorched with a knife to the skin and sold from the sole heap, rubbed through and between the scorches. And was cooked on the dry. Cons were pounded or bruised to soften the flesh and hung on the line in the sun. Ironing was quite a chore, and I hate to do it up to now. The iron was a hollow container shaped like the American iron, but must be filled with running coals to heat it. There were outlets for air. If there was no breeze, one had to fan it. And when you couldn't fan it, you had to blow it. I am sure many of you have heard of it or seen it in the museum. It was called a goose. All of these historic lifestyles prove us different and should mean a lot to us. And parents must relate such to our children, while gadgets or utensils used should be displayed for easy recognition. Our environment is unique. There's only one place where ocean waters are aquamarine and colors are so beautifully intertwined that one stands in awe when observing. You can do that from outside the church. That place is the Turks And Caicos Islands. There's only one place where the sunset is so breathtaking that visitors as well as natives rush to capture its beauty. It's no wonder why we are labeled as beautiful by nature. And it's no wonder why cruise ships and airlines are booked jammed to visit us, bringing as many as 1 million passengers per year. 3 months ago, my daughter was on assignment to St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. And on flying to a grandson, she took a picture. And although 33,000 miles in the air, Grandpa is still beautiful. To my mind, brothers and sisters, what God has given us, we must show it off and keep it beautiful. Each of us has a part to play. It's not Mark's duty or Rachel's duty. It's everybody's business. Our economy is built on tourism. We must be responsible for accommodating, transportation, entertaining, offering information, and safety and security for the tourists. And in general, sharing concern for our visitors. This keeps them coming back and inviting others to sample what we have to offer. We must remember that in some cases, it's a home away from home. Whatever the product, it must be attractive and eye-catching. No cans and bottles sending the wrong message. No dangers of stickers trying to stop the traffic. If we are to reap the harvest of tourism, we must go all out and clamp down on all the abnormalities that can only be setbacks. All parents are responsible for instilling in our children the meaning of heritage and the importance of heritage in our society. Our education department, I'm sure, is focused on it. I mentioned parents as being instrumental in encouraging children to maintain our heritage, but now I want to be specific and appeal to the men of our communities. Men, I urge you to be visible and involved in this respect, as well as other roles which were especially detonated by God Himself for you. Young men, realize your responsibilities and live up to it. Be wise in your actions, bearing in mind that each has to be accountable. Men who are married with numerous responsibilities have a duty and commitment to execute. Fathers are very important figures in our families. There is so much expected of you, and many are disappointed if expectations are not met. Fathers, ensure and make special efforts to be good providers, good advisors, good teachers, good disciplinarians, spiritual leaders, good sportsmen, and finally, good examples.